Okay, so welcome everyone in this teachers conference. It's this session 2. All our mentees are from Israel, so mentored by Nala. Without wasting time, I'm Sagun Shrestha, originally from Nepal, right now in Dublin. So it's morning here. So Nala, could you please introduce your mentees? Just the format is like, as you attended, if you have attended the first session, the format is the same one. First of all, each presenter will present for 4 minutes, and then later we'll have breakout session in the breakout sessions, we'll interact with our presenters, and then at the end, there will be reflection, which I will tell you later as well. But for the time being, over to you, Nala, to introduce your presenters.
Yes, thank you very much. So welcome to the conference, everyone. I'm Nahla Nassar, and I mentor teacher students at the Academic Arab College in Israel. We'll be hearing presentations from Aline, Kinda, Lareen, Saja, and Tamam. Is Aline here? Aline is not here at the moment, so maybe we'll just move on to the second presenter. Our second presenter is Kinda. Kinda's here, and Kinda will be presenting about 21st century skills. I'll just share my screen with you. One moment, please. Okay, and share screen, and okay, and I'll just try to go ahead. Kinda, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. So I'm presenting my study about the perceptions of Arab EFL teachers of the development of the 21st century skills. So this study provides guidance to teachers on how they can play a role in developing students' 21st century skills. It also helps educational policymakers in selecting priorities and planning teaching methods as to achieve goals in terms of developing students' 21st century skills. It also provides an insight into English language learning in the Arab community in Israel. The results are expected to help raise awareness about what needs to be done in order for EFL learners in the Arab community in Israel to develop their 21st century skills. Now, the way that I adopted to do my research is Miriam Sharon's method of coding data, which is critical for data analysis. Interviews were done and then analyzed and coded as per theme and conceptual framework. Finally, thematic content analysis was done. The themes were visited and compared to each other, and any irrelevant sections which did not fit into any of these themes were omitted from the data collection. The whole process helped ascertain what skills EFL teachers think are necessary for students to develop. And finally, all data were merged into one document and then categorized under related themes. And just finally, I'd like to say that I have learned that there is a lot of interest from teachers to develop these skills, but most of them are not trained enough to know how. It is necessary for teachers to be provided with workshops and training sessions in order for them to develop these skills. By providing them with adequate tools and material, teachers will become more involved in teaching these skills, this skill set, at an early stage when students are still young learners. Most importantly, I'd like to say that though teachers should not feel intimidated by what may seem like daunting tasks, instead they should look forward into challenging opportunities where they will be able to make a difference in influencing young generations while promoting individuality among learners. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Kinda, for that presentation. So those of you who are interested in hearing more about Kinda's research, Please join her in the breakout room after we finished our 5 presentations. I can see Aline has joined us. Welcome, Aline. So Aline today, Aline Zaytoun will be presenting about cooperative work online. So I'll just share my screen, and then Aline, you can go ahead and start presenting.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Share screen. And good luck, Aline.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so hello everyone. As Ms. Nahla has mentioned, my name is Aline Zaytoun, and my research is about the impact of online cooperative work in an online environment. Ms. Nahla, can you please enlarge each section? Let's start from the introduction. Yes, thank you. So for years, there has been a concern about the efficiency of integrating cooperative learning in an English classroom using ICT tools. So we have cooperative learning, English classrooms, and using ICT tools. And I wanted to integrate all of these 3 components and investigate students' or learners' perceptions towards using them. In my research, I chose Google Slides to be my ICT tool for 4 reasons. First one is, to the best of my knowledge, no research has been done on it. I did find a variety of studies that did on different ICT tools, but not Google Slides. Second thing, it is because it's similar to PowerPoint. And we can even also call it as the online version of PowerPoint. We also teach PowerPoint at a young age here in Israel at schools. So students are familiar with it. And I did check with my students and they said they were fine with it. So it worked out. And third thing is, because online work can be tracked, I can check the history, the students who wrote, if someone wants to mess with the other students. So I can check, I can monitor everything. And fourth thing, because work is available and displayed to all participants. So all participants can check or can track others' work, and even if someone forgot the link, didn't have the link, others can send it to him or her. The objectives, why did I choose to do this research? Because I think that for me and for teachers, it is important to obtain a better understanding of learners' perceptions towards online cooperative learning. The research questions were as follows. What are Arab EFL learners' perceptions of integrating online cooperative work in an online environment? And the second thing, what are Arab EFL learners' perceptions of using Google Slides as an online tool for online cooperative work? For the materials and methods, there were 2 activities, 2 tasks that are given to my students. The first one is based on a vocabulary list that is given by the Ministry of Education. And yes, thank you. Okay, so it is divided into 3 parts. Each part we call it a band. Band 1, band 2, band 3. Basically, foundation level, intermediate level, and professional level. So my students at that time, I taught 9th graders, so I gave them the intermediate level. And I asked them to take 5 words from letter B and 5 words from letter C and write an essay on it. And each band is, of course, alphabetically ordered. So as you can see, if you move on to the second column, there are different examples, 3 examples of the assignments that the students gave. Yes, and for the second activity, for the second task, at the bottom of the page, I gave students an assignment that they had to do it traditionally in the book. I asked them, they had 4 questions that they needed to answer. And instead of doing it traditionally, I asked students to work in groups. And instead of writing, I asked them to find pictures, to answer each question with a picture and present it later on. And I gave them an example as well, so they would be familiar, or they would be able or know how to answer this question or these questions. If you look at the side, yes, here are some examples. The assignment was on, if you go to a trip on to a rainforest, what would you do? The preparations, problems that you might face, a person that you want to take with you, supplies, etc. And the first one is, this first picture is I give it to students, I provide it to the students, and the other ones are students' work. And the last column, in the last columns, to summarize, for the results, If you can move a little bit. Yes, thank you. So for the results, students, to conclude that students preferred to work in small groups more than big groups. And as one of my students said, too many cooks spoil the broth. So it's preferable if it's done in small groups. And they also prefer to work in classrooms. The assignment was done, or the research was done when we were in 2020 in the COVID-19 era. So it was only distance learning, as students found it challenging to communicate outside of the classroom, especially that they haven't seen each other for a long time.
Okay, Aline, I'm sorry,
yeah.
I have to stop you now.
That's fine. That's it.
That's
it. Yeah.
But
that's
obviously, this is quite interesting, and I know some people will join you because people enjoy learning about cooperative work, especially when it's done online. So thank you very much, Aline. Please join Aline in her breakout room if you'd like to hear more of her. Next, we have Larine. Larine, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hi for everyone.
Hello, Larine. Larine will be discussing Quizlet. I'll just share my screen with Larine's poster. One moment. Okay, share screen. Okay, good luck, Larine. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, hi everyone. How are you? Hoping you're doing well. I'm Larine. Hello. So, starting, we all know how important it is to have technology in our lives that we cannot give up on, especially in our education, in the educational process, as it helps us with many current requirements, especially at this time with the corona. Now I'm going to review my topic for my study, where it talks about students' perceptions about using the Quizlet tool as an active learning strategy in the English classroom to improve their collaboration and cooperation learning. And if you ask me what is Quizlet, it's an educational app that teachers can use in teaching the students in a modern and motivating way. Now, we all know how the coronavirus occupied all over the world and how affected in many aspects of our life, like the social, economic, and education side. Therefore, the process of searching for appropriate alternatives began to coexist so we can continue to live in a better way, especially, as I said, in the educational field. As the differences, educational difficulties, and shortcomings began to appear in the field, from the teacher sides and the student sides. So the purpose of my study is to examine and explore the effect of using the Quizlet as an active learning strategy to improve collaboration for the students. As I said before, which began to disappear after the emergency of distance learning among students. Sorry. The educational system in Israel actually suffers from a great and a huge lack of knowledge of using the technology in general and the ICT tool in specific. And its incorporation into the educational lessons in the Arab sector, I mean. And it's come very clear after the coronavirus and after this distance learning. Now, I had read a number of articles that, as they are all thinking and talking about education technology and the efficacy of education through their integration with means of communication and information. But all of them were in European countries, as I found only a few articles on the integration of technology in education in Israel and especially in the Arab sector. Therefore, we need to include the ICT tools in education in our sector, especially in the presence of the coronavirus. Which we do not know when this disease will end. The study contributed in appearing the lack of the knowledge about using and applying the ICT tools in Arab schools. In terms of the practice of the English language, in the other side, it helped teachers in applying one of the successful app of the ICT tools in their lessons and support the students in collaboration and cooperation learning. Um, According to my findings, what I found at the end of the of the study, it was really positive. Yes.
Larine, I'm sorry to stop you, but we've hit the 4-minute mark. But obviously, I'll just stop sharing my screen. This doesn't have to end here. Larine will be in the breakout room. If you'd like to hear more about the process, yes, the process of applying Quizlet, she can take you through the procedure. Thank you very much, Larine. Next, we have Saja Abourid, and Saja Abourid will be talking about ICT. Just give me a second. I'll just share my screen. Okay, Saja, good luck.
Thank you. Can you enlarge it, please? So hello, everyone. So my research is exploring the topic of teachers' perception of using ICT in education during COVID-19. First of all, according to United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, about 1 billion students and youth around the world are affected by the closure of schools and universities as a result of COVID-19. Most schools in Israel were closed in March 2020, as all you know, most of you know. And then at May, we reopened or adapted the online learning for the educational system. So this research is done by me. And for the introduction, this study is conducted in 2021 during the coronavirus pandemic. The COVID-19 crisis had a major shift in our lives due to the social distancing and the schools closure. The educational system adapted online learning to resume the academic year and to give the students to learn from home and not to left behind. As this decision was put into action, many teachers experienced that the online teaching is different from face-to-face learning, and lessons should be prepared based on digital activities and in order to ensure a meaningful learning process. So what is the purpose for this study? The purpose of this study is to explore teachers' perceptions of using ICT tools during schools closure during COVID-19. This research is important because it investigates the topic ICT tools in ICT in education in a very essential period nowadays during COVID-19. This research is relevant because it brings to light the need for a full usage of ICT. This research is conducted because of the lack of studies in this field, especially in the Arab sector in Israel. And I experienced this when I search for articles just to be updated with the effect of COVID-19 and school closure on the educational system. So I took this opportunity to investigate the topic and to put my hands on learning and do my own research in this field. So the research question is, what are the teachers' perception on using ICT in education during COVID-19? So the methodology, this study investigates teachers' perception of using ICT in ICT tools in education. So what I did is interviews teachers were asked different questions, and they answered the questions orally, and then I transcribed the answers. And then it was analyzed, and I found codes and the themes, and how I analyzed the answers of the participants. So for the analysis, I had 3 themes. The first one is the importance of technology skills. Teachers' qualities and skills play a great deal of the good perception of using ICT tools during online lessons. The second one is smooth transitions. Based on the results, using ICT during online lessons demands teachers to be knowledgeable and to have qualities and acquainted how to use ICT tools. And the third one is the challenges that the participants experienced. They expressed that there was a capacity of adapting the new learning methods and making a full usage of ICT tools.
Okay, thank you very much, Saja. We'll have to stop here.
Okay.
Very interesting. So if you'd like to hear more about the perception of teachers about ICT in Israel, please join Saja in her breakout room. Next and last but not least, we have Tamam. Tamam will be talking to you about blogs and her use of blogs in education. I'm gonna share my screen with you again. One moment, please. Okay, good luck, Tamam. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be presenting my academic research that talks about Arab EFL learners' perceptions on the use of blogs for learning writing. So EFL learners needed to study and learn English writing and to be also motivated. So during the pandemic of COVID-19, the students' language skills were affected negatively, and especially their writing skill. Therefore, in this study, I aimed to integrate blogs in order to improve their skill in writing English by asking the following research question, which is, what is the perception of Arab EFL learners in high school about using blogs for learning writing? So the study was a qualitative study that involved 6 Arab EFL participants from a high school in my village called Ferdis. And all of them were at the 10th grade, between 15 to 16 years old. And for the collecting data, the questionnaires were conducted, the pre-blogging and post-blogging questionnaire. The pre-blogging was conducted only to see the background information about blogs. And when analyzing the data, I categorized my data into categories depending on Miriam's step-by-step process analysis. So what really was done in this study is that the whole collecting data took 6 weeks. And the first week, the pre-blogging was divided or given to the students. And after that, when they submitted the questionnaire, they were divided into 2 groups, and they were instructed to create an account using blogger.com. We used this website because it was easy and free for students to use. After that, from the 2nd plug to the 5th week, the teacher uploaded every week and or each week an assignment for discussion. The students had to read it and to discuss it, write like a short essay about 50 to 60 words approximately. And after they finished, they had to read the other group's writing and to reflect on them by leaving a comment for them. So that was done according to the assignment. And finally, in the 6th week, the post-blogging questionnaire was given to them in order to collect the perceptions and responses of the learners or students. So regard the findings, after analyzing the data according to the Marianne's step-by-step and categorizing them to categories, the results showed that all participants had a computer, yet most of them did not have a previous knowledge about blogs or using blogs, and even they didn't have a blog website or account. In addition, the results showed that learners have positive perception for the use of blogs, where they responded positively by saying that or describing that blogs are helpful, easy, and motivating. And these were collected by answering 5 questions in the post-blogging questionnaire. However, one participant responded negatively to the study by stating that he found the use of blog was complicated and he didn't notice a huge improvement or big improvement. So to conclude, the blogs were successful ICT tools that really students can benefit from its usage. Additionally, applying the practice theory to make them practice and adapting the collaborative theory really helps students to perceive improvement in their writing and being more motivated and engaged. So finally, I would recommend for conducting further studies by focusing on analyzing blogs as a practice for other language skills, not only writing, maybe such as reading, and to look into different motivations for using the blog in EFL class. And finally, to implement studies about practice theory, because I found difficulty and a lack of information about this topic. So thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much, Tamam, for your presentation. Thank you all for presenting. These are wonderful. You're very, very inspiring. I think we can now move on to our breakout rooms.
Yeah, thanks, Nala. Nala for wonderful mentoring as well. And then thanks, Kinda, Aline, Larin, Saja, Tamam for your presentation. Now you will have opportunity to explain your research in detail with any participants who will be interested in the breakout room. So just a quick note for the participants in the breakout room. Before I open all the rooms, let me explain a few things. You are free to visit individual presenters room. There will be 5 different rooms. You can also move from presenter to presenter. You can ask questions, make comments, or if you have any other further questions as well, then you can put forward there. While doing so, please do not forget to turn on your camera because it can create the live discussion. But once you are done with your questions, then you might unmute your microphone as well. So if you feel any difficulty to go yourself, then we will be always there to help you. We also can assign you. So if you happen to click on leave the meeting, you can always rejoin. That means, again, we will be able to, send you to the particular room that you are interested in, or you can join. Just a quick note for those mobile users, like, probably you might find, sometimes you might not find the breakout room, but if you just, tap it, then you will find it, then you can easily locate. So that's it. Without wasting time, I will just open all the rooms. One more quick remark is we will be back before 15 minutes. That means by 12:40, we'll be back. I'll send you, I'll broadcast the message then. So now I'll open the room, then you can go. And for the presenters, I would like to request you to join your own room, as you can see your own names there. Thanks. And if you have any questions, we're always there. Ashley, I, even Nala. Let's begin the final session. In this session, our presenters and the including mentor as well will share their experiences regarding, conducting, research. So first of all, let us begin from Nala. Could you just share your experiences, Nala?
So mentoring teachers and before I talk about mentoring, I think I need to talk about context, because the presenters you heard today were still doing their BA degree. So they're right at the beginning of their career as teachers. And some of them, for example, Saja didn't have access to a school then. So she said, I'm going to explore teachers' perception to see what they think about. So although they do not have access to schools, some of them were interested in conducting studies about school. And I think that's quite amazing. And this is part of a course. This is a seminar they take with me, and they are required to write their research at the end of the seminar. So the topics I think that they've decided to explore are quite amazing. Very what you'd call 21st century topics, because you have blogs, you have ICT, Quizlet, and so on. And all of these have been explored during COVID. Some of the topics might have been explored earlier, but now there's more focus on ICT and technology and online cooperation, blogs, and so on. So, and I love technology and everything to do with technology. So it was quite exciting reading about their research and their topics. In general, mentoring teachers, beginner teachers, is not an easy task, but I think the results are quite rewarding, especially when you see their final products. And these presentations, I think, were great. I think in the future, perhaps we'll do that at the end of each course, where we'll gather on Zoom and have everyone do this type of activity where they present their research, go into breakout rooms, and then answer questions. So this conference has given me a really good idea for my seminar course. And just a final note, thank you very, very much, ladies, for agreeing to give presentations. You're very brave. And your topics are very, very interesting. And I really enjoyed listening to you interact with other people. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nala. Yeah. Before I ask the challenge that you faced, you wonderfully explained the kind of issues as well of that persist during mentoring. So let me invite one of the presenters, the first one, Kenda, to share your experience of conducting research. Before that, again, I would also like to congratulate you all, in conducting such a research, even at this level. See, as she mentioned earlier, I didn't know this, but yeah, at the bachelor's level, you have conducted your research so wonderfully. So I think, yeah, that has set a good foundation, I would say. And yeah, congratulations to Nala and then the whole team. So Kenda, would you please share your experience regarding conducting your research?
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Nahla. I'd like to thank you for this opportunity. It's such a once in a lifetime, and it was my pleasure presenting at this conference. And I'd just like to point, it was not an easy task, yet Ms. Nahla was very, very helpful and supportive. Through the seminar, she actually pointed every little detail of the seminar, so that made it much more easier. And I would like to mention a comment I got earlier in the breakout rooms. I received a comment about not stopping here and actually do more work into the topic and more research about the topic, and take the action, make the change, and do not stop here. We have the knowledge, we did the research, we have the knowledge ourselves, we can make the change and we can take action and make the change. So I would like to thank whoever said that to me, and I'm definitely thinking about it and we'll be doing more in the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Aline. Now over to Larin. Again, you also can share your experience of conducting research at the same time. If you have got some wonderful comments or interactions with participants in the breakout room, you might highlight those points as well. Over to you.
So,
Larin, yeah. Sorry.
like you
Aline,
said,
sorry.
Aline.
Yeah, sorry, Aline. Sorry,
Aline,
yeah,
okay.
wrong pronunciation, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so as Kinda has mentioned, I would like to thank Ms. Nahla for the opportunity. She stayed by our side the whole time. She gave us many comments and helped us a lot throughout this journey. For the research and for the conference here, it was an amazing opportunity to present in front of all of you and to hear your comments and answer your questions. One question and something that we talked about, I talked about with Sagan in my breakout room, we talked about why did I get, or why did I get these specific results? And we thought because some students, the results are kind of different. Most of them, or the majority of students, participants, agreed that they would like to work in smaller groups, while some prefer to work in big groups. And these small students, or these the I forget the idea, but those participants might have wanted to work in bigger groups because of their friendship. Because as I have mentioned that one class preferred to work or had a better relationship with the classmates where okay, so I'm stuttering now. But one class had good relationship while the other one didn't. So these results might have differed because of the relationship that each group had. And yeah, that's mainly it. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Aline, for highlighting once again some kind of conflicting results that we obtained, right? And she was mentioning like how some students like wanted to work in a big group as opposed to a small group, which could be the preference of many students. That's really interesting. Larin now, sorry, earlier it was a confusion. Aline and Larin. Larin, over to you. The same question.
Well, starting with thanking Ms. Nahla for being a good and a helpful guide for us for this long time of doing our seminar. Well, actually, it's not a thing that we're doing every day. So it was a really important and a difficult a period of time to doing such these things. I'm so glad to being with you guys here today. It's a pleasure for me to be here. For the audience, as someone who'd ask me about why did I choose this topic. So the main reason for choosing this topic, that the lack that we face it today in our Arab sector, and the main reasons is the Ministry of Education, of our education. They don't give the rights and the things to come up, and the updating things if in our school. They just want the material to end, and that's it. And the end of the year, students will have a really simple thing, which is exam, and that's it. Today we are facing a very problem to deal with technology, and we know that we are in a technological world that we can't give up on. So I really want to thank you for such being here, and that's it.
Okay, thank you, Larin. Yeah, now to Soja. Again, the same question.
Yeah.
And also, could you please highlight, any
About my
interesting
experience?
discussion?
First of all, it was excited experience. I was so enthusiastic to do my own research, first of all. Second of all, to do it in a topic that I really find interesting. And I took a thumb up when you said that you are exploring the same topic. So I think great minds think alike. So, and in addition, I think that it was, I faced some challenges. However, all in all, it was like I have an order and step-by-step things to follow. And this is, of course, thanking Ms. Nahla Nassar, because she provide for me and for other participants how all the means how to do and what to follow and from where to start. Yeah, and all in all, I think it was a very good experience, and I am very proud, and I feel the fruit of my own research by being here and presenting and sharing and getting feedback and questions and all of that. It's like a post teaching or post activity for my own seminar. So I feel very proud and very satisfied for being here. So thank you all for this opportunity. And I hope in the future we will be gathered again and to explore more even another research. So thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, Sarja.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks. As you were mentioning challenges as well you faced as a researcher, could you highlight what kind of challenges that you faced and then how did you tackle them? Probably it can be useful for other researchers, like whoever would like to explore the issue like you did.
Yeah, of course. First of all, for my own research, I didn't have enough articles in the field. So this was my first and the most challenging thing to do. From where I can get material, what articles should I choose? This is the first one, and I found a few articles that were conducted at the earlier of COVID-19, and it was up to date, and I relied on that. This is the first one. The second one was how do I approach teachers where we have a social distancing? What should I do? And then I overcome this obstacle, of course, by contacting them online and interviewing them online. So these are the two challenges that I faced.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for sharing again your insights. Now we have the last but not least, Tamam.
Hi again. So first, I would like to thank Ms. Nahla because she was really an amazing instructor and supportive mentor. She really helped us a lot and guide us how to do conduct our research. And even the idea of making a research is really challenging. She made everything so clear that it was really, I can't say that easy, but it was really clear how to work on our seminar. So I really also thank the conference and all the participants here to give us this opportunity to present our ideas, our results, and all the things that we shared in our research. We really need this because we work really hard and we want to show our efforts that we had with others. And also one interesting thing that I was asked in the breakout room, that what is one interesting thing that you that I noticed in my results or throughout the study, and my answer was that I really found it interesting to focus on reading in a second or a further research, because while working on focusing on the writing skill, I noticed that students are not just want to write, they also require to read others' work in order to reflect and write comments. So I would really like to conduct a study about finding how really the use of blog help the students reading as well. So The experience was very amazing, rich, and it really was a great experience. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tamam. Sorry. So if any one of you have, any experiences of coping challenge, like, challenges that you have experienced during conducting research besides Saja, because Saja highlighted earlier. So you are welcome. So you might share, we have a couple of minutes as well. Have you got any challenges?
Challenges,
Difficulty?
yes.
Yeah, Ellen, yeah.
Yeah. In my research, like I said, I didn't see any students. I wasn't able to meet any of them. I taught for 6 months and I didn't see my students once. The only time I saw them was at my last day at school. It was their first day and my last day at school. So I didn't really know what they liked, what they didn't like, the relationships in general. So it was kind of improvising to do these tasks. Yeah.
Okay. Larine, do you have any challenges? Like, did you come up with any challenges and then you tackle them?
Yes, actually, I have two challenges. The first one where I didn't have enough articles about my study, and the second one where the students is their self, where I supposed to meet them and how, and it come up at the end of the thing to meet them online and to do everything via Zoom.
Okay, so any other presenters you'd like to come up?
Yes. Yes, one of the challenges that I faced that when I applied the practice theory in my research, I found there was a lack in studies that conducted about the practice theory. So it was really challenging to find an articles that or a research that conducted about the practice theory. Another thing that was like a kind of limitation is the number of the participants in my study, which I was really having a small number of participants, and it was an amazing to do it on a bigger group of participants to really figure new and additional results. So the small numbers was very a limitation in my study.
Okay, thank you. Now we have a minute. So any presenter, like we have now Tamam, Lauren, Aline, Saja, and we have Kenda. Would you like to share something?
As they mentioned about social distancing, the one challenge that I faced was when doing the interviews through Zoom. Some teachers didn't even know how to use Zoom or how to log into Zoom, and we had internet troubles, connection troubles here and there. So yeah, that's the one challenge that I faced during my research.
Okay, thanks. So Kenda, thanks a lot, everyone. Right on time, 12:55. And again, all the presentations were wonderful. And thanks, Nala Nasser, for wonderful mentoring as well. Like your mentees have already applauded your work. So I hope like all the presenters, all the participants as well had good takeaways from this session. And yeah, if you'd like to again communicate to those, to the presenters who are here right now, so you can do it further. With this note, I would like to conclude this session, and just to let you know, if you see the schedule, it is from 13:10 to 13:50. It's GMT I'm referring to. There's a plenary roundtable where mentors share their experiences of facilitating teacher research. Probably you might be interested in that session. So if so, we'll see you there. Thanks. Have a good time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.